Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our family service this morning, the 9/11 special memorial. Time to think about what had happened, both in New York City and Hurricane Iniki too. So it's like, yeah, same day. Okay, so the ringing of the kansho will signify the start of the service. Please sit quietly in your seat. Please rise for our meditation, followed by the chanting of the Vandana Ti-Sarana by the congregation in Pali and English. It also can be found on page 165 in the Praises of the Buddha book. Please be seated. Okay, we will be turning to chant the Sutra Junirai, which is found on page 59. The chanting starts on page 60 in the red Jodo Shinshu book. This morning's recitation will be found on page 126 of the same service book. That's right. That's the golden chain of love. Please rise. I am a link
in the Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Tassa.
Please remain standing. Do our Gatha, Softly Blew the Breezes. It's found on page 151 in the Brown Praises of the Buddha book. Page 151. Please be seated, everyone. This morning's Dharma talk will be from our pianist and board member, Mrs. Joy Nishida, who's our guest speaker today. She's always entertaining, so.
Don't set the bar so high. I just set the music.
Good job.
Okay. Hello, good morning. All right. Well, I'm happy to be here. I got more sleep than my normal Dharma talk, just because I fell asleep. So the title of my talk today, although it's an interactive talk, is The Sound of Dharma. Uncle Dennis got it. My favorite movie is The Sound of Music. I'm going to start off a little bit more on the serious side because today is a special day in a sad way, I guess. Come back to that. Actually, wait, before I get to that, because I know everybody was wondering, and because Neil asked me about this earlier, it's not going to be a cat talk, which I know everyone was excited for, but I thought I would at least give you an update on Nodi's weight loss. She's lost about 0.7 pounds, which is a lot for a cat. So she's just about 14 pounds, which is still kind of hefty. But yep, just some recent pictures of my girl. All right, so just in case you're wondering how Nodi was doing. So I'm only briefly going to stay in this mindset, and then we're going to get to more interesting, more fun things. But growing up and I learned about things that happened in history before I was born, I didn't realize that I didn't have a connection. I didn't have a connection to it because I hadn't been alive for it. And I didn't really realize that till I experienced something like 9/11. And I was a second year in college. And in fact, the day it happened, I was supposed to fly out. My parents and I were going to fly out to Santa Clara for my second year in the dorms. And my now husband was working the morning show at KITV4 News. And so he called me about maybe 4 in the morning. And he said, first of all, wake up. I said, what are you doing calling me so early? He said, turn on the news. And, that was everybody, right? Everybody had the same experience here. And I picked some of these images. These 3 on the bottom were the ones that have always stuck with me through my life. Because he called me after obviously everyone tuned in after the first strike. And so I remember watching Peter Jennings and seeing the second, and I couldn't believe that I was seeing real life. And so, just these images, which you can find on the internet. And then, after they fell and seeing the cloud, in the city, and I had one classmate who was going to NYU, and we're so worried about her, and as you know, we couldn't call. Everything was jammed, all the phone lines, and we did find out that she was far away enough, and she was okay, but so I obviously couldn't fly out to college that day, and many people couldn't fly for several days. I did end up getting a flight later in the week. The plus side was my parents couldn't book, so they upgraded me to first class. So the one and only time I ever got to first class, unfortunately, is due to this tragedy. And of course, everything was plastic because of all of the things. And then when I got to college, Santa Clara University, I found out another connection, not super personal, but a girl at my school was also heading back to college on Flight 93. So, as soon as we got back to college, they had like a big mass for her and everything. So that was quite sad for everybody. So fast forward a few years, my mom and I were really fortunate to visit the 9/11 memorial. Has anybody visited it? You really need to go see it, especially for those of us who lived through it. It is so worth it. In fact, I went twice. And so we actually went because we were going to go see Allegiance. We got some tickets that my uncle scored us. And also we got to see Reverend Ikeda. Some of our longtime members will remember Reverend Ikeda, who at that time was stationed in New York, or he was at the New York Temple. But it was, I took, the two pictures on the bottom are the ones I took at the museum, and then the other one I stole from the internet. But I just love it, seeing the beams of light, just reminding you about the towers. Back in high school, we had visited New York with the band, I think. Neil was on that trip with me, and we got to go there. And then they said, you have a choice. You can either go up the tower, or you can hang down here with your friends and play in the fountains. So I stayed down and hung out with my friends. And so I never did get to go up the original towers, but I feel fortunate that I actually got to visit the site. But I didn't plan on this, but I think we should have a moment of meditation for all that were lost on that day. So if we can put our hands together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. So I wanted to bring up 9/11, obviously because it is the day's anniversary, the 21st anniversary, but also because I wanted to come back to music and sounds. And so one of the things that I kind of keep reliving in my head are the sounds of 9/11. I don't know if you folks have similar memories, but when I hear sirens, I think about it. It's one of the things I think about. I'm sure many of you have seen a lot of the documentaries. They had so many recorded phone calls between loved ones and the news reports, of course. And then I Googled, because I knew there were some songs, there were songs dedicated to 9/11, and I Googled it, and turns out there's over 150 songs, at least according to Wikipedia, which is not a trusted source, but it's a source. But there are many, many songs, and what a great way for artists and musicians to pay tribute to the event. But one of the things that for me was just the quietness of it. Do you remember right after when the rescuers were trying to get in there, and they told everyone, be quiet, because they had to listen, really listen. And that's the kind of thing I remember, and then when they showed the videos of the surrounding area, it was just the quiet. And so even if it's not a sound, I guess I it's something that really stuck with me, is also the quiet. But it reminds me that, the impact of music and sound. And so this is, I'll credit this Harvard website that I found. So, effective music, listening and performing music reactivates the areas of our brain associated with memory, reasoning, emotion, and reward. Music doesn't just help to retrieve memories, it helps to lay new ones. And healthy elderly people scored better on memory and reasoning tests after completing weeks of exercise classes with music accompaniment. So keep that in mind when you guys exercise. I always have my AirPods in because I want to work on my memory. Right, Neil? Got to work on my memory. So, as you know, I've always been involved with music in Hongranji in some way throughout my life. I've been fortunate that my mother was very active and was in choir, and then I was in the Betsuin choir a little while, and we grew up singing and playing instruments. And so I thought about the 3 E's of music, Dharma and music. And so I thought it's engaging, we're singing or even listening, and we're listening with our brain, our ears, and our heart in a different way to experience the Dharma, because as we learn in the education field, people don't just learn with one mode, right? They learn with all different senses. So I really, truly feel that listening through music, listening to Dharma through music, or experiencing the Dharma is such an effective and engaging way. Also, it's fun. And then also it's an easy way, like everyone can, even if you can't sing, sorry, John, my husband, you can still enjoy music and dance and everything. And also it's fun, as I mentioned, it's a fun experience for everyone. So that's why we like to have all these musical experiences in Hongranji if we can. So I compiled a list of music opportunities that we've had through the years or currently in Hongranji. So of course everybody in the community knows Obon. And then hopefully we'll see a return of our statewide Choral Fest. You folks have heard a lot of the music through the pandemic. Ryan has used some of their songs in the service recordings for the Gathas. I don't know if you know, but Hawaii Island has had a Gatha Fest for many, many, many years. And it's a long time tradition there. So all the temples and temples on the island compete. And so some of the we've had some great, I hate to say parody Buddhist songs, but anyway, they take existing songs and they change the words. So a lot of them have come out of Big Island because they have this Gatha Fest that they're working towards, and especially a lot from Kona Hongranji, from Mr. Katayama, Darren. But and also we had a production that was sort of connected, or I don't know if it was kind of helped sponsored by the Hongranji, Peace on Your Wings. I think many of us saw that production, which is fitting. I want to mention because next September 21st is our Peace Day in Hawaii and International Peace Day. Reverend Burt next week will be speaking about that. I didn't want to steal his thunder. And then I don't know if they still have it, but a few years ago I was really lucky to attend the choral festival in Japan at Honzan, at the headquarters temple. They held it twice a year because there's so many people, and so it was called Miro Ensokai, but I couldn't find any source on the internet about it. We sang about 5 songs. There were 800 of us inside of the hall, the big hall. It was amazing, an amazing experience, and I'll try to find a recording and play for you folks in the future. It's on a CD somewhere. Who has CDs? Who plays CDs anymore? And then I don't know if you know, but we have a state music committee headed by Francis Okano, Moilili Hongranji member, but also plays piano and organ at Betsuin and Moilili and also for the Betsuin choir. But they work really hard to, they're translating Gathas, and they're also sort of composing or putting together some of these new Gathas that are getting written, or they're overseeing that. So we've been recently trying to introduce some, they're not really new to Honganji, but they're new for our Sangha. And so today, that's what I want to do, is teach you folks a couple new songs, new for our Sangha. And then, of course, in temples, we try to use music, like in the morning, it's kind of nice to come in when there's music. Thanks, Bob. Bob's been our morning DJ lately. And, of course, the music that's during the service. So all of these wonderful, opportunities to experience the Dharma through music. Okay, so now is the engaging part. I was going to play my ukulele, couldn't figure out how to plug it in, having technical issues, which is embarrassing for a technical person to say. But I, for 2 hours last night, tried to record myself on the piano. Yes, about 20, anyway, it was a lot of drafts. But, and please ignore, there's a little bit of mistakes here, but I would like you to take out the two sheet musics that you got when you walked in. So I want to introduce you Gentle Hands and Golden Chain, and hang on, I just realized I don't have it. So Gentle Hands is, the words come from Alice and Reverend Doctor, I think, Taitetsu Uno. A lot of people know of him and his work, and composed by Mrs. Saito, who was the longtime choir director at Betsuin. And then Golden Chain, there's different versions, as you folks know. This one was composed by Donna Sasaki. They were compiled recently in this new Gatha book that was put out by, I thought it was by the PNW, but it looks like Seattle Betsuin was kind of the main lead on this effort. And so I found a couple songs I want to share with you. Okay, so we're going to start with Gentle Hands. I will do my best to sing it for you, the best I can, sorry. And then, so just listen and read the words, and then we'll do it again, and then I'll have you guys just try to kind of sing along. All right. So thank you. I heard some people kind of singing along. My recording is nice and slow, so hopefully, and even if you're can't quite get the melody, just just say the words. It's a good practice of just saying the words. All right, we'll do this again. Was that a little more confidence? Okay, let's do one more time. Okay, you guys are doing great. Is it coming from mine? Oh, sorry, I clicked the button. Okay, all right, one more time for this song. Wonderful. Yay. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do it again maybe next week or the week after so you guys don't forget. Okay, so the next song I wanted to teach you is Golden Chain of Love. Oh, sorry. Ooh, that's a typo. It's just Golden Chain. So feel free to listen. If you know it, you're welcome to kind of sing with me. There we go. So if you haven't guessed, and actually you just said it, the words are from the Golden Chain of Love, yeah. Stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. Be kind and gentle to all, and think pure thoughts, say pure words, do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. And at the end, you can harmonize if you want. You don't have to, it says optional, you could just meditate during the last bar or two. I actually had the privilege of singing this song at the World Buddhist Women's Conference in San Francisco a few years ago. So the Hawaii group performed this. I played the ukulele, but again, I can't get it to work right now. But we can do a more upbeat version later. All right, that was wonderful. Let's do it again. Stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. Be kind and gentle to all, and think pure thoughts, say pure words, do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Yay, round of applause, yay. So not too bad, right? Not too bad. And that was the beginner pace, so we'll pick it up a little later. All right, so I think this is the last thing, yeah. So the last thing I wanted to show you, I asked Reverend Bird if I could show this to you this week. And so this is sort of like a preview of, start thinking about Peace Day. This was a video that they had a reunion cast, because there's been several casts of Peace on Your Wings and touring and stuff. but they pulled a reunion cast together for this is when the pandemic started. So I don't remember when they first introduced it, but I first saw it, I think, on the when we had that big Zoom Peace Day thing with Ring Your Bell for Peace. And so I was managed to find the link on YouTube, and if anyone's interested, I can share the link with them. But I wanted to share this Peace on Your Wings song, and wish you a happy Peace Week. And especially today, I guess, is a kind of a memorable day that we want to take time to reflect. And of course, with everything going on in the world, we can have a little bit more peace. So as a preview for next week, please enjoy Peace on Your Wings.
Friendships never ending.
No families forced apart.
Lots of love and laughter.
Illness gone away. Fun that's everlasting.
No more broken hearts.
You'll fly. No boundaries in sight. We'll soar, and with all of our might, we will dance, we will sing. And the world will hear the ring, and the bell toll. That's all of our words. You'll be the voice they can't hear. They'll see
And thank you, Nembutsu. Thank you for listening. All right. Woo. Okay, give me a moment. I gotta. We should start a new tradition of clapping for speakers.
We're clapping for the video.
Yeah, I know. The video. It was good. Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much, Joy. That was very, very nice. Yep. Okay. Please rise. We're going to be singing the Shinshu Anthem. It is found on page 147 in the Praises of the Buddha book, page 147. And please continue to stand for the Nembutsu. If there are new people, it's also found on page 107.
When I call Amida's name, it's Amida calling me. Buddha's voice, my voice are one. I gasho to Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Okay, please be seated. This concludes our service. It'll be time for announcements from Prudence.
Good morning. Wasn't that wonderful? Thank you, Joy. I've been carrying this around for a while. You know, sometimes I find these interesting things on the internet, and I thought I'd just share this with you. You know, years ago, anthropologist Margaret Mead was asked by a student what she considered to be the first sign of civilization in a culture. The student expected Mead to talk about fish hooks or clay pots or grinding stones, but no. Mead said that the first sign of civilization in an Asian culture was a femur, a thigh bone that had been broken and then healed. Mead explained that in the animal kingdom, if you break your leg, you die. You cannot run from danger, get to the river for a drink, or hunt for food. You are meat for the prowling beast. No animal survives a broken leg long enough for the bone to heal. A broken femur that has healed is evidence that someone has taken the time to stay with the one who fell, has bound up the wound, has carried the person to safety, and has tended the person through recovery. Helping someone else through difficulty is where civilization starts. Interesting, huh? Never thought of that, but that was an interesting look at. Okay. Thank you, Dennis, for conducting our service. Good job. And Cynthia, your kansho hitting was wonderful. It was Cookie. Oh, I was thinking, wow, she really improved overnight. You know, it's a struggle to get it right. Well, thank you, Cookie. Okay. Thanks, Gerald, for serving as our MC, and Merle for serving as our greeter. And Team A is providing refreshments today. Okay, our current 2-year term for officers and board members is going to end the end of this year. So if anyone is interested in joining the board or being part of the group that tries to plan for and maintain the temple, please let Dana know. Dana's sitting right there. She's the chair of our nomination committee. So every 2 years, everybody ends their term. Some of them decide to continue on. And I must say, there are people that have been so committed and have been doing the same job for almost 20 plus years. Our secretary that usually doesn't come to temple because she takes care of her mom, Bob's wife, Joyce has been doing secretary work for over 20 years. Can you imagine? And of course, there's a lot of people that have been maintaining what we do and we think of as everyday things that works hard in the background. Merle has been working on our newsletter for many, many years. You know, prior to her taking over, we used to be the old-fashioned way, mimeograph or whatever we were doing. It was horrible. And now that she's taking over, but, you know, she too probably wants to give up at some point. So for those of you that's interested, we meet once a month on the third Wednesday. We meet right now virtually because of the pandemic, but it's from 6:30 to no later than 8. Usually when we have our business done, we end the meeting. So if you're interested, please consider being part of the board. Next week is Peace Day service, as Joy mentioned, and Reverend Bert is going to be taking a group of interested people to go on a walk around through Kailua town. He'll be in his robes, and Cynthia and her group prepared, 50 large origami cranes that is on a string, and you have a sample? Yeah. And then we hung on the bottom a tag that says 2022 International Peace Day, and the same saying from Thich Nhat Hanh that's on our tree out there, our Peace Day tree. So whoever wants to join him can go. He usually goes right through the Kailua town, and hands out birds and talks about peace, so.
Greetings.
that's-
If anybody has their Peace Day T-shirt,
Oh, that's,
wear that next Sunday. And
Yeah.
if you do volunteer to pass out paints, at least
Yeah.
you will convey a message just by your T-shirt.
Yeah. See, during the pandemic, when we didn't have services, Cynthia's committee used to have a online sale, and they would fold these cranes for us, so that's what we'll be handing out. And then whoever can show up here on Wednesday, the 21st, that's the actual Peace Day, International Peace Day, and this is what, the third year that Hawaii had started, and they contact people all over the world. And at 9 o'clock here, we start hitting any kind of bell that you have. There's groups of people that's videotaping themselves at home, from home, hitting all kinds of bells. Schools have joined, and it's beamed together. So we usually all gather out here, whoever wants to come. Come about 8:30 because they have a preliminary show. I think Jake Shimabukuro is playing some things. And I heard that there might be an interview with a Ukrainian family that's in Honoka'a. I guess they got stranded here, they were visiting and can't go back. So the Honoka'a Honganji has sort of adopted them. I think there's more than one family. 5 families. Yeah. So, there are people like that among our own, within the state. So that would be interesting, and so that's what we will do next week. And Cynthia has a few questions or announcements to make.
I know. Good morning. Okay, as we know, we're part of the Windward Mall Bon Dance that's coming up on October 1st. It's a Saturday. So right now, we're looking for just a couple more volunteers to help us, especially on the inside, where we're going to be selling food and merchandise. So if anyone is available on October 1st, starting about 3:30, till 5:30, that's the first shift. No, 3:30 to 6 o'clock is the first shift. The second shift starts at 5:30 to 8 o'clock, which is closing. So just a couple more slots to fill. And I think Dennis, with his Andagi group, I think it's filled. Or do you need more people?
I could use maybe another one or two.
Okay.
It's basically making the undergi batter, the frying, the packaging, and basically just shipping it and getting it inside the mall for sale.
And once it's inside the mall, we take it and we sell. So if you have the sales skill, please join us. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
And always thank Ryan, because he does all the taping. And we still put our services online. And it's interesting that there are people, we got a card from a lady from Jikoyan thanking us for, putting that on. And she knows several people, and we've met her through BWA and so forth. So it's a good link to the outside. Any other announcements? Otherwise, let's have words of thanksgiving. If you don't have it memorized, it's on page 126 in your red book. We are truly grateful for this wonderful food, a gift of life. All beings, as we partake of this food, let us remember Amida's compassion, which surrounds all in all the forms of life. Namo Amida. Itadakimasu. Thank you. Oh, and it's bingo day. Oh, Cynthia, you forgot to announce that. So, let's go across there, have some refreshments, and join in bingo.